In the serene village of Adumesa, Abina, the brightest student and pride of her community, dreams of a successful future. Her path seems set when a wealthy suitor, Kwako, arrives, promising her a life of comfort and opportunity. However, Abina's heart belongs to Kwame, a humble fisherman's son who has nothing to offer but his unwavering love. As societal expectations close in on her, Abina must make the toughest decision of her life, choose the riches that everyone expects or follow her heart into an uncertain future. Faced with love, ambition, and family pressure, Abina's journey becomes a battle between what she desires and what is expected of her. How it started. A love story of Abina and Kwame. In the quiet village of Adumesa, nestled in the green hills of Ghana, lived a girl named Abina. She was admired by everyone in her village for her intelligence, beauty, and grace. Abina was the pride of her parents, her teachers, and the elders. Her future seemed as bright as the sun that lit up the dusty roads of the village every morning. From a young age, Abina excelled in school. Her dreams were big. She wanted to become a doctor, build hospitals in the village, and help her people. Everyone knew that Abina would go far. Her father, Nana Kofi, often spoke about the wealthy suitors who would one day come to ask for her hand in marriage. They imagined her marrying a man who would take care of her, a man who had money, land, and power. But life, as Abina would soon discover, is full of surprises. It was during one of the village festivals, where drums echoed in the distance, and the scent of roasted maize filled the air, that she met Kwame. Kwame was unlike anyone she had ever known. He didn't have the fine clothes or shiny shoes of the boys from well-off families. His father was a poor fisherman, and Kwame helped him whenever he could. His hands were rough, his skin kissed by the sun from hours spent walking on the river. Yet, there was something about Kwame, his easy smile, his laughter, and the way he spoke about life with a carefree attitude that drew her in. One evening, as the festival lights flickered like stars, Kwame found himself standing beside Abina near the village well. They exchanged shy glances at first, but soon they were laughing, talking about their dreams and fears. Abina felt a connection with Kwame that she hadn't felt with anyone else. He made her feel alive, free, like the river that flowed behind their village. Weeks turned into months, and their bond grew stronger. They would meet secretly by the riverbank, away from the curious eyes of the villagers. Abina knew her parents wouldn't approve. Kwame's family had nothing to offer, no land, no wealth. But Abina wasn't sure she cared. She had never felt this way before. However, life in Adumesa wasn't so simple. Word began to spread that Abina, the pride of the village, was spending time with Kwame, the poor boy with no future. Her parents grew concerned. Her father, Nana Kofi, called her one evening after dinner, his voice firm but calm. "Abina, you are a special girl. You have a bright future ahead of you. But the path you are choosing, being with Kwame, it is not the right one. He has nothing. How will he take care of you? How will he help you build the future you deserve?" Her mother, ESI, nodded in agreement, worry creasing her brow. "You need to think of your future, my daughter," she added. "Love is important, but it cannot feed you or build you a home." Abina felt torn. Her heart was pulling her toward Kwame, but the voices of her parents, the expectations of the village, and the dreams she had for her life all weighed heavily on her mind. Was love enough? Could she really turn her back on the future everyone expected her to have? Kwame, too, felt the pressure. One evening, as they sat by the river, the moon casting a soft glow on the water, Kwame turned to Abina, his voice heavy with emotion. "I love you, Abina. But I know what people are saying. I know your parents don't want us to be together. Maybe they're right. I can't give you the life they want for you." Abina's heart ached at his words. She didn't care about his lack of money or status, but she couldn't ignore the fact that her entire future was at stake. As the days passed, the whispers in the village grew louder. Some said Abina was foolish to be with Kwame, while others admired her for following her heart. One day, a wealthy man named Kwaku, whose father owned several cocoa farms, came to visit Abina's family. He had heard about Abina's beauty and intelligence and was eager to marry her. Kwaku was everything Abina's parents had dreamed of for their daughter, wealthy, educated, and well-spoken. He promised her a life of comfort, a house in the city, and the ability to continue her studies. It was the perfect opportunity, and her parents were thrilled. But Abina felt nothing for Kwaku. He was kind, but he didn't make her heart race the way Kwame did. Yet, the pressure from her family was immense. They begged her to accept his proposal, reminding her of all the good things that would come from marrying a man like Kwaku. Abina found herself at a crossroads. Should she choose a life of comfort and security with Kwaku, or follow her heart and face an uncertain future with Kwame? The weight of the decision pressed down on her, and she knew that whichever path she chose, her life would never be the same. In the days that followed, Abina withdrew from everyone, spending more time alone, thinking. She found herself standing by the river once again, where her journey with Kwame had begun. The water flowed steadily, just as life did, carrying them toward an unknown future. One evening, she met with Kwame. There was sadness in his eyes, but also a quiet acceptance. "I don't want to hold you back, Abina," he said softly. "You deserve the best." Tears filled Abina's eyes as she listened to him. She knew she had to make a choice soon, but which path would lead her to true happiness? The decision weighed on her like a heavy stone. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Everywhere she turned, someone was reminding her of what she should do. Her heart ached for Kwame, but her mind was filled with doubts. Was love enough to sustain them? One night, in the middle of a storm, Abina found herself standing at the edge of the river, the same spot where she and Kwame often sat. The rain pounded down, soaking her through, but she didn't care. She closed her eyes and let the water wash over her, hoping it would cleanse her of the confusion and pain that had been building inside her for so long. Suddenly, she felt a presence beside her. It was Kwame. He, too, was drenched from the rain, but he didn't seem to mind. For a moment, they just stood there in silence, the storm raging around them. "I can't lose you," Abina finally whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of the rain. Kwame reached out and took her hand. "Then don't." In that moment, Abina realized that the choice was hers alone. She could live a life of wealth and comfort with Kwaku, or she could choose love, even if it meant facing an uncertain future. It wouldn't be easy, but with Kwame by her side, she believed they could build something together, something real, something lasting. As the storm began to pass, Abina made her decision. She would choose love, and she would fight for it, no matter what. In the weeks that followed, Abina and Kwame faced more challenges than they had ever imagined. Her parents were heartbroken and furious. The village gossiped endlessly, and Kwaku's family was insulted. But Abina stood firm, and so did Kwame. They began to plan their future together, knowing that it would be difficult, but also knowing that they had each other. Slowly, Abina's parents began to see the strength of their love. Though they still worried for her, they couldn't deny the happiness that shone in their daughter's eyes whenever she was with Kwame. In time, the village began to accept their love. Kwame worked hard, and Abina continued her studies, determined to prove that love and success could go hand in hand. Together, they built a life not based on wealth or status, but on love, trust, and shared dreams. And in the end, they found a happiness far greater than anything money could buy. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please like and subscribe and turn on your notification so you don't miss when we drop our new stories.